Welcome to the Great Lakes Smoke Podcast Show. What we talk about basically is the love and the passion of cigars, pipe smoking, tobacco, alcohol, brothers chilling out and having a good time, laughter.
Well, how else are you gonna, enjoy a nice bourbon?
And you kind of went animalistic on tobacco buying, haven't you?
And the Rocky Patel Pure and Simple. I don't know, that thing just tastes so good.
Aficionados, and welcome to the Great Lakes Podcast Show. What happened?
You kind of cut in there early.
Oh, well, I'm excited.
I know you are.
It's been 2 weeks. I couldn't wait anymore. I was thinking about this all week on the bike, and excited to have a special guest here tonight. We had his dad on last month.
Yeah.
And we're going to see his dad this Saturday. And so we got to get another family name on the show, folks. So thank you for checking in. And, we're sorry about last week, but, we took a week off. That's all right. We still have about 100 shows that you can check out on us. Frank's loaded up a whole bunch on YouTube. Kyle's been putting a whole bunch on Anchor and Spotify, iHeartRadio, and of course downloading on our Facebook page, which you can catch us at any time, 24/7, which I like. But welcome, everyone. I hope you had a fantastic week. And the end of the summer is here, unfortunately.
It's not here. It's done.
I know.
I know. This is
Today is the official day.
Fall.
It's a drag. It's my depression time of year. I suffer. I go into depression.
I hate it.
So I need to spark myself up. But welcome again to all you newbies. And we have a lot of newbies, and we love it. 20 countries around the world, and a lot of new people jumping on board each and every single week, it looks like. And that excites us. Just for the introduction of who we are, my name is Ron Pecorini. This is my brother Bob.
How you doing?
We got the man over there that's on the screen right now, sitting in his cigar lounge somewhere in I don't know, Illinois maybe, somewhere. I don't know what town you want to say you're in, but we'll keep it private. But yeah, he's the technician. He's the wizard from behind the scenes, Mr. Kyle Gesso.
I'm in my basement, so we're good to go.
All right. Yeah, sounds good.
I thought that was the new loft that you got.
No, this is the basement.
All right. I don't see any bars on the window, so you might have to fix that. And anyway, and down in Florida, the one, the only, our cousin, Frank.
Hello, everybody.
And he's in his lounge above ground. That's on the roof of his house.
That's it.
Right?
The penthouse.
That's my rooftop bar / restaurant. As you can see, there's a lot of social distancing happening here. So
50 feet or more, right?
people already stayed 50 feet away from me.
Well, if they only knew to stay 100, they'd be smart. Anyway,
Especially after some enchiladas.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yes,
yeah.
indeed. I don't even think you need enchiladas with you, brother. I'm telling you. We've been there too close. But yes, Frank does our special segment of Stump the Chooch. And what basically that is, folks, for you newbies, is you'll be live on Facebook and you'll be able to actually win a pipe by one of our sponsors, RNA Treasures from Tampa, Florida. So nice Algerian, nice and clean, the thick bowl there. You can see it's nice and nice rustic look. And this will go out to a winner.
I
And
have to make an announcement. Hold on, just before you skip over that.
go ahead.
RNA Treasures, Florida, and now California. They will have 2 locations.
They are moving. They're getting bigger. They're basically taking over the coast.
Yeah.
So they can get their products all over the country a lot faster. So check them out, RNA Treasures, and Randy and Anthony, 2 fabulous guys that if you are into pipes, they certainly have some incredible pipes. And they also have pipes for the beginners or the people who are kind of a lower budget. But they're fabulous pipes. And get on their website.
And the price.
The price is fabulous.
$2, $3, $5, $10. I mean, where do you get pipes for this price? It's amazing.
Yeah, and every Tuesday they come up with a crazy.
Yeah.
Instead of Taco Tuesday, it's Pipe Tuesday. It's madness.
Yep,
And
yep.
not only have pipes, they've got ashtrays. They got
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
Italian
A lot.
chessboards and tables.
Well,
They
his
got
father was Thomas
paraphernalia.
Cristiano, so
Yep, that is
just to give
Anthony's
you
father.
some info about the quality, it's all Italian briar pipes. Even if they're giving you a pipe for $2 or $3 or $5, whatever that sale is going to be for the day, it's not a cheap pipe. It's going to be a very good pipe. So look them up.
Yeah, right. Your cousin Frank, if you're looking closely at him
He's
right
smoking
now,
one right now.
that is
One
an
right
art
here.
treasure. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Right there. Well,
Very
you
nice.
can't see it through the my looking glass. So
Very nice.
And that
pipe.
was one that he picked up 2 years ago at the Chicago Pipe Club.
I did.
And
Show. No, at our
show. I'm sorry, at the
our
show. Bob and I, between the two of us, we probably have about 40 or 50 of them. They're excellent, excellent pipes. So
Yeah.
trust us, they're good stuff. Get on their website, go to their Facebook page. Randy usually is on it right away. With you, you'll always get an answer from Randy, no matter where he is in the world.
Yeah.
And he travels.
And he does travel around the world.
Anyway, so if you want to get any information tonight, I always recommend get yourself a paper and pen. There's lots of information that you can jot down. And if you guys want to send any questions or good criticism, bad criticism, anything you want us, send it to our email address, greatlakesmokeshow@aol.com. Okay? All right, we got all that out of the way. And before we meet our special guest, Kyle, why don't you talk about our sponsors tonight?
Sure will. Our sponsors are DAV Cigars out of New York. Decades of experience combined with true love and deep understanding of cigars result in the highest level of standard of each DAV hand-rolled cigar. Next sponsor is RNA Treasures out of Tampa Bay, Florida, the last of a legacy. The last inventory from Thomas Cristiano in a warehouse where everything is aged and well kept for all your pipe and smoking needs. And finally, the Chicago Pipe Collectors Club, one of the largest and oldest pipe groups in North America, with the largest pipe show worldwide. Every first weekend in May. Always looking for new members, and if you're interested, please contact via Facebook. And now, back to you, Ron.
Hold on. I have to say this. I gotta say this, Kyle. I watched your lips, and there's no doubt about it. You are the best ventriloquist I have ever seen.
It's my own special trick. You like that? I've been watching Jeff Dunham a lot, you know.
I'm glad you got rid of the dummy, though. That didn't work.
Yeah, he was a little creepy, and he was a little nuts, too.
We know a lot of creepy guys, but we don't go there. Anyway, folks, take a look. Those sponsors, they all have something to offer. As far as the Chicago Pipe Club, hey, we're looking all the time for new members. Again, we're the largest in the world. We usually have about 350 vendors at the show. We can put in 1,600 people any given day on that stuff. It's just a great bunch of people to be involved with, and the vendors are spectacular, and we have a great time. And unfortunately, it looks like 2020 has been a bust between pipes, tobacco, cigars. But 2021 is that much closer, folks.
Yep.
All right.
And
so
you know where we were supposed to be next weekend, right?
We haven't gotten there yet.
It was supposed to be the Richmond show that is not happening, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was canceled too.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, and
We
we're
had
not
everything
happy
booked.
about
We
that.
had car rental. We had
Hotel
rental. We all ready to do it, but what are you going to do? There's
Nothing.
always next year.
So make plans, folks, for the next Chicago Pipe Collectors show. That's the first weekend in May, and we will have information out to you as it comes from our directors.
And by the way, you can also join our club. You don't even have to live here in Illinois. We have members around the world. Just look us up and we can get you the details. And there's a lot of little perks that go along with being a member. So check it out.
All right. So anyway,
I'm anxious. Let's introduce
a lot
our
of
guest,
people are
man.
jumping on board, and it's great to see everybody. Thank you, everyone. I'm trying to get to all of you, but tonight, you all know we've been promoting it for the last couple of days. We're going to have a special guest here with a history, a family history that is unbelievable in the industry. Right now, we last month we had his father, Mr. Eric Stokkebye. Tonight, this evening, the next takeover, Max
The
Stokkebye.
next generation.
The next, yes, the next generation.
Gentlemen,
How are you?
How-
What's doing, Max?
I'm great, guys. Thanks for having me on tonight. I've been excited for this all day, actually.
Well, give you something to do since you can't travel.
Yeah, exactly. Keeps me busy.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. It's
Pleasure to have you, man.
we had Dad. He has definitely recommended getting you on board because you are the regional sales manager for Scandinavian Tobacco Lane.
So I'm going to correct you there real quick, Ron. That's actually, and for no fault of yours, that was my old out-of-date personal Facebook page, which hasn't been touched up in a couple of years, as is evident by my title on there. It's actually brand manager now, or not brand manager, but brand ambassador now for all of our pipe tobacco. And
wow!
Congratulations. I'm sure I'll have a chance to go through the different roles I've gotten to partake in with STG, which has been fun for sure. Well, and we can go over exactly what that regional manager role was.
Yeah. Well, before we get there, let's go back to the old times when you were a little kid coming out and finding out what the business was all about.
When you're playing into tobacco fields, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, listen, when I came out and I was, crying as a baby, I was given a pipe just to shut up right there on the spot. That's the Stokkebye way. Start them young,
Absolutely.
So tell us about it. How was it actually growing up in the business?
So, as a young kid, it really, the car always smelled of pipe tobacco, and it was always fun, being that young impressionable age where the world is huge to you, and going to see the factory at that, young impressionable age was always interesting. The pops was always, out for work, and when he'd come back, he would, like I said, the car would be stinking of pipe tobacco in the best way possible. And so would he. So from an early age, I had those sort of sensory related memories, of just this nostalgic feeling that I got nowadays with pipe tobacco. So from an early age, just always being around the smell of pipe tobacco, I really think that was sort of the strongest early connector that just kind of stuck with me throughout life, and it obviously wasn't just on Eric, but his father, Peter Stokkebye, as well. Grandfather, when I would get to see him, it was the same thing, right? So, but yeah, getting to see the factory at a young age was always crazy. I grew up, as a lot of us did, living in my own kid fantasy land, and it wasn't until I entered into my later teen years, sort of 17, 18 years old, that Dad started bringing me around to some actual work events, right? So I think one of the first things I did with him was actually back when it was called the IPCPR show. That was down in New Orleans one year, where I got to go partake on the show floor there with him, right? So I was one of the showgirls there for the show. Not the most attractive one, but no. So that was just a fun way to meet people in the industry. And I think one of the other things that goes back as far as I can remember is there's never been more than I can count on one hand really bad eggs in this industry, at least as far as I've gotten to interact with. And so for me, that always was huge, right? It was always work colleagues, but also kind of family friends and people that have stuck around in my life still to this day, right? People that I talk to that my dad worked with and my grandfather worked with, right? That are truly family friends now. So there's always been, I guess, a real mingling of family and work. When your last name is Stokkebye, that's sort of going to happen too, right? So I guess the distinction didn't really start to occur to me until I sort of got older and actually started working in it, right? Versus just sort of it being around me and me, being more or less oblivious to it as a kid. So I was fortunate enough to do some internships then in high school. My dad, as everything in my life that he's helped me with, he showed me a door and he said, after this, it's up to you, right? I'm not going to push you through. I'm not going to walk behind you or grab you by the hand. Like, here's the opportunity, you take it or leave it, right? And so he presented these opportunities to go work in Germany, actually, it was Max Stokkebye at the time, where I went to work down in southern Germany at the Filliger factories. You might have seen their little Havana export. Those are fairly common in a lot of tobacconists. A Havana seed export, I believe it's called. So I got to spend a lot of time there and do everything from production. So like literally pitchforking raw tobacco up into the conveyor belt to go get destemmed and moisturized and topping and cased and all that, to standing by the cigar cutters. Really like everything in production I got to experience there, which was amazing, along with, being in a beautiful part of Germany. And then the following year, so this would have been senior year of my high school. So after the summer of senior year of high school, instead of hanging out with all my friends before we went off to college, I actually went to Denmark and did an internship with STG, who I, happen to work for now. And of course, back then I had no idea that would come to be. But there I got to do some sales and some production and sit in on some marketing meetings, and they kind of shifted me around. So, before I was even in college, I had gotten a taste of the industry, so to say. And guys, feel free to stop me here, because sometimes I just get chattering away with this stuff. So.
You got more than a taste. You got a total education.
So I did my undergrad at Appalachian State. Go Mountaineers! If anybody's listening from the Appalachian region. Got my degree there in international business, which, of course, was kind of fitting. And afterwards, I took about a year there to be a bum. And then I got a job with STG. They had an opening, and I took it and ran with it. And here we are now. I guess I just had my 6-year anniversary with them here in July. So
Max, how was it in Boone?
Fantastic.
I stayed very well. My kids, I lived in North Carolina for 13 years in Wilmington.
There we go.
I'm very familiar with App State. And isn't there a dry county right there?
So actually,
drinking.
So actually, that led up, I believe, the year after I started going there. So that would have been 2009.
Okay.
Which was bad news for me and the school.
Right.
But no, I kid somewhat. But no, Boone is a beautiful place, and it does have, Frank, it does have like a very special place in my heart. Just the mountains, the thin air, quite literally, is so good for you. And it's something about that nature and the seasonal climate there, right, was wonderful. So yeah, it does. But of course, the growth there since I've graduated, and even while I was there, I go back now and it's apartments everywhere. It's almost, a little hard to recognize it. So sort of going the way of Aspen or some other, smaller mountain towns of yesteryear.
So you're going to stay in Carolina for a while, you think? Or
So now I'm actually in Atlanta, Georgia. So we can get to that part of the story here, and I'll just keep trucking through this stuff if you guys want.
I got better to do. Just keep rapping.
I'm drinking, so it's all good.
Cheers, guys.
That's not a claw, is that, Frank? Wait, was that
I'm drinking Bone V.
Bone V.
Bone V,
It's Viagra in liquid?
It's Viagra in a can.
Okay, I haven't saw that before.
OTC liquid Viagra. This is America, baby.
No, it's a spiked seltzer.
Nice.
Okay. Nice. Spike. Remember, you don't drink anymore.
Oh,
I don't drink bourbon every day. What do you think? I'm like you guys with an ironclad stomach and liver?
Yeah.
Hey, it's all about staying in good drinking shape, right?
Yes, I keep myself well tuned.
It goes to a well-balanced deal.
Oh yeah.
Well, I myself am getting my hipster on. I am actually drinking a salted caramel pumpkin beer.
Oh man,
Ooh.
It is not
Halloween
nice.
around the corner.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
is not bad.
Halloween around the corner.
we're officially in fall, right?
Yeah.
So you can do that.
Yeah. Yeah, but not on the
That's-
show. Oh,
That's today, right? Officially,
Yeah,
first day
today's
of fall.
official day of fall. Fall right now today.
Which means everything for my pipe tobacco smoking too. Honestly. And not so much, like just like, oh, it's officially fall, I'll just change it over now. But Atlanta, where I am now, as I just said, has been nice and sweltering for the last 6 months, basically. And this is the first week where it's been cool, steady 70s. The humidity's dropped, maybe 10% or something, or 10 degrees rather. So it's finally coming around to like outdoors weather here. So
There you go. So maybe you'll smoke a little off the key or something now.
yeah, I was about to say I just really I steer away from more like my my Virginia Perique, which is like I do a lot of. Did I lose you guys?
No, I got you.
No,
back.
you're back.
Yeah, I smoke a lot of Virginia and Perique over the summer. Something about the hay notes that you get in a nice Virginia with the kind of subtle sugars that are in the leaf. That to me is a good hot smoke, temperature wise, right, when it's hot outside. So, but anyway, back to my life. So
For life, you're on show, buddy. That's it. It's all you.
There we go. So, but like I said, I went to school there, got my degree, and then STG had an opening. It was actually started as a territorial sales manager in North Carolina. So I was living in Charlotte. I'd moved back home, was with the girlfriend at the time, and this was like going from store to store, selling car stock. Basically, it was some of our more mass market items, so some of our like Bugler, Talent, some of our mini cigars. So stuff, where we were selling to sort of these mom and pop stores, right, where you can get everything from like tobacco to cell phone chargers. And so it was very hot Charlotte summer, full button down and everything. And it was literally peddling boxes out of this van, right, of car stock that I had. So it certainly got the experience and got my fingers dirty there with work real quick out of the gate. But that position actually was then changed around, and I was offered a new position in premium sales. And this is all with STG Lane, I should specify, which is the pipe tobacco subsidiary of Lane, right? Or of STG, rather. So I moved into premium sales with them, where I got to cover from the Carolinas out to Oklahoma, actually. And that was our southeast region. So a huge chunk of the country, right? But I got to meet some awesome retailers and pipe smokers and cigar smokers, for that matter. I got to see a lot of the country that I hadn't seen before, right? But it was driving and then obviously flying out when you were going out toward more the Midwest and Oklahoma area, right? But got to meet, like I said, a lot of people in the industry, not just retailers, but other manufacturers as well, right? When you're on the road, you bump into guys when you're going in and out of these brick and mortar stores. So, but the retailers that I've met, there's really, I think most of those I still have relationships with to this day. So it's almost like every role I've done since that initial one has kind of played into where I am now. And we'll get to that briefly. But like I said, I was in this premium sales manager position, visiting premium tobacconists. I did that for about 3 years. Until I needed to shake it up and try something new. And so the head of marketing at STG Lane, Mr. Leonard Wartzel, who's still with the company, he offered me a job there as an associate brand manager. And so I went down, I took the job. So I moved to Atlanta, Decatur, Georgia initially. And there I worked leading our brands such as Bugler, Captain Black. I got to work with a couple. I started on certain categories and then got switched about halfway through to pipe tobacco. And so I got to manage those brands, all of the pipe tobacco brands, which was having seen everything from the outside and being in sales. It was really fun to go back in and sort of start to work the ideas and everything, that all the execution plans that we put out there for the field to go execute, right? and for sales to go perform. So it was fun to kind of do the thinking and the behind the scenes work. Whereas before the last 3 years I had been out and about and running and gunning. Right. So it really was eye opening and kind of gave me an understanding of like, here's exactly what it takes for when you have an idea to getting that into the market. Right. And then learning every step of the way. So it was really fun, honestly. Then after doing that for about a year and a half, a year actually, I was actually offered this brand ambassador position. And same with every role I've been offered, I took it and ran with it. And so for the last 2 years now, almost year and a half, it's been going out and doing shows with retailers where we're bringing in pipe smokers, and I'd be happy to go over kind of what those shows consist of. And then otherwise, it was going to the regional pipe shows put on by the Pipe Clubs of America, right? So you guys doing Chicagoland, doing the NASPC show, doing the Las Vegas, the Texas show, right? The TAP show in Raleigh, North Carolina, or the Triangle area. So doing all of those, and then, staff training, really everything I can to go out there and sort of raise the ocean on pipe tobacco, right? And then obviously doing a lot of fun stuff, interacting with pipe smokers too. So obviously now since COVID hit back in March, it's been a very challenging time for all of us, I'm sure. But my job has obviously transitioned from being off the road and not being out here and running and gunning, as I said earlier. But now it's sort of doing this, right? Doing anything we can virtually. I've done some other staff training in my local market where I'm going out slowly, right? But we're not, as we did before, bringing in, 20, 25 pipe smokers into a store and smoking with each other. And it's just hard to manage that right now, given the current climate, I think. So, long-winded story, guys. That's from square,
all right.
square
That's
one
good.
to
So
square
good.
two. So, that's where I am now, brand ambassador. And I really do enjoy it. It was a hard transition going from being on the road 3 to sometimes 4 weeks out of the month to, being at home almost 24/7, making grocery store runs and whatever.
Your fiance must be happy with that, at least.
Yeah. So what was funny, actually, we met in Atlanta, and then she moved to Boston. So we were in a long distance relationship for like a year. And then we decided we were going to move together finally. And so I brought her back to Atlanta. And we had moved in, I think, 2 weeks before everything hit at the end of March. So we moved in together at the beginning of March. And so we went from being long distance to being quarantined together.
There you go.
Right. That's
Well, I guess you'll find out if everything works out, right?
6 months later, and we haven't hurt each other yet.
That's
So,
the sink or swim scenario right there.
it's been the ultimate test, guys, and we're passing it with flying colors. So I couldn't be happier with that
So
situation.
is the toilet paper in on the wall side or on the outside? That's all I got to know. I like it on the outside. I don't like my paper rubbing against the wall. You know?
You get into some strange stuff, man.
Ron, I couldn't
man.
even tell you right now, man.
Something to think about.
That's funny.
Is it seat up or is it down?
Yeah. No, I make sure to be respectable about that. Yeah.
Well,
That's
good.
funny.
So what kind of new things are in the horizon?
So for us, 2021 is really when you'll start to see some new blends starting to come out under the Stokkebye bulk line. We hope to have 1 or 2 new ones. And then I believe Lane, there will be one as well. The newest thing for us was this year / ending of last year. And that was the Peterson. And then obviously the brand formerly known as Dunhill being released under that Peterson brand as well, right? When STG acquired that, they've, the people we were negotiating with weren't so kindly in letting go of the brand name. So everything is under the Peterson name now, right? But so that's the latest from us, is that those are under our roof now and obviously back in the US market for some of those, which had been removed for a while, I believe, or were on the verge of being removed, right? Yeah, and so otherwise, 2021, like you said, Ron, is on the horizon, and that's when we'll start to see some new bulks from us.
I ask you, and this is going to be an insider answer. There is a lot of talk about the formula on the Dunhill brands changed. It changed since you changed hands. People are saying it's changed again, the formula. The tobaccos aren't tasting the same. Anything you can add on that? Is that true?
Yeah, no, I mean, I can deny it. That's not the case. So actually, the only difference anybody would experience would be the actual raw tobacco plant having changed because of soil and conditions. But with pipe tobacco, you don't really run into that because you have your casings and your toppings that let you more so control how the tobacco is going to taste than, say, a cigar. But with the case of Dunhill, actually, and by we, I mean STG, we were producing that for Dunhill for the last 10 plus years before we acquired it. So the recipes, the tobacco, none of that has been different, and none of the production. It wasn't like it shifted from a factory owned by Dunhill to us. It's been produced by us and then sent to Dunhill for their distribution for the last 10 plus years, like I said. So it's just one of those things where, sometimes when you change branding there, people just associate the difference with it, right?
That's
But you mentioned if you don't have the same plants, the same soil, that can have, even if it's minor, if there's someone who smokes one brand day in, day out for the last 30 years, they can tell you how many times Dunhill's formula has changed from each person who's taken it over, which has been three times since the 70s, I believe. I don't know. I'm not a big Dunhill smoker. I have smoked probably everything at one time or another, but I couldn't tell you right now if I opened it up if it was any different from 10 years ago or 20 years ago. But I hear it, people say it, so I said, well, maybe there's something to it. I don't know.
I think it's just a mental thing because of the different packaging brands.
Could be.
Yeah.
So typically what I think happens is it's one of three things. It's either the brand or the packaging, right? And to your point, Ron, that's just a mental thing, consumer science, whatever you want to call it. Two, it's the actual soil and the conditions of that tobacco plant that came in, but that's probably not going to be it. The three, what also I run into, it's that if someone's palate has changed. And that doesn't necessarily answer your original point there, Bob, to say if somebody's been smoking the same thing forever, then of course they would notice. But sometimes I have, guys come up and say, oh, I smoked this 10, 15 years ago and it tasted like this. And then I've tried it since then and it doesn't taste like that anymore. Well, along with a slew of things maybe having changed, another thing is probably your taste buds, right? They're probably just not the same as they were when you were however old you were when you smoked this. So, that's the third one that I always, that sometimes is the case. It's just our palates evolve over time and change, right?
What happened to some of the older formulas, meaning blends that Dunhill had back in the 60s, for instance? I mean, I used to go to Dunhill, like I'm from New York, and they had their store, which was right across the street from St. Patrick's, basically, on Fifth Avenue. And in the store, they had stuff that I mentioned it today, and people who are Dunhill smokers never heard of it. And I used to buy it in the store. And I was always wondering what happened to some of those blends.
So, and obviously I can't speak for all of the individual blends. Some of them could have just gone by the wayside because of low demand. But what happens with some of them, Bob, is companies don't register the tobacco blends with the FDA. And so they're not filing their submissions and keeping it up to date. And basically, as of some years ago, and I won't bother you with all the FDA details, but there are these it's essentially like a pre-market authorization that you have to have, and you have to prove that your tobacco has been sold in shops from this and this date. And so if you've missed a window, just having an old recipe book for the FDA essentially isn't enough.
It's done by FDA now, though, but back in the 60s, that wasn't the case.
No, exactly. So, but my point is that if they've fallen out of folders or whatever it is, and people haven't kept up with filing them, even if they're not in use, even if they're not something that they're still manufacturing, then that would have, it just wouldn't have been allowed in the market anymore.
Too bad, because I know two of them. I did smoke them. They were my favorites, and they have not been seen or heard
Well,
since
mention
the
to him.
60s.
Maybe he can look for it. You know, he's a big
Gone,
shot now.
it's
Come
gone,
on.
no.
He can pull
What
some
is it?
strings.
Well, one was my mixture, number 10, and it came in a bigger tin, the 3.2 or 5 or whatever it was at the time, and it was probably the heaviest English blend that you could ever find. I mean, it was almost like straight Latakia, but the unbelievable blend. And the other one was called rye, just like the drink, rye, and fantastic stuff, man.
Yeah, no, those precede me, unfortunately.
Yeah, like I said, this is the mid 60s when I used to buy it.
Back in the Stone Age.
Hey, you're a 60s child too.
But yeah, Bob, to answer your question, man, there's a slew of things could have happened with those. So
Yeah.
it's hard for me to sit here and
I
speculate.
didn't know if Dunhill didn't give it up, saying no, these formulas we're keeping it.
No. I saw what we were acquiring, and there were even some that were left off because in our case it would have been because of a volume demand that we have to have in order to meet the production demands.
Right.
Well, maybe there could be a little secret
Yield.
something come up with. Maybe you can talk to the big boys about getting some rye in there.
We'll talk about rye in my mixture 10.
Write it down. Don't forget.
I was about to say, I got you right here.
See you writing down. See, I try to get to help
It
you,
was
buddy.
sold in the Fifth Avenue store.
I like my rye in my drink, so how about that?
But they had rye in the tobacco, so it was cool.
I'll send some emails. We'll see if I can find at least an answer for you.
Like I said, this is mid 60s. I'm talking.
Yeah,
Wait,
chances aren't good, but I'll try.
I know that.
I'll be honest with you.
I don't think anyone's there from the mid 60s.
That's it. Yeah. So I mean, it's gonna, yeah.
Just the truth, the harsh truth.
I'm trying to lay it on you easy, Bob.
Yeah.
I know.
Hey, you can come on real hard in this show. Don't worry about it. That's the way it is.
I just mentioned
That's funny.
about older formulas. And like I said, I thought maybe they just didn't want to give certain ones out. Keep it in the family, in house, whatever.
So, basically, what do you like to smoke? I mean, you got the family, and then you got the Scandinavian lane. Do you have any favorites from the family?
I've got some favorites. Yeah. So actually, the fourth generation, that's all owned by obviously my dad, and then Arango Cigar Company up in Illinois.
Right down from us, Josh.
Yeah.
Josh.
You know all the boys.
We know the boys.
Yeah.
Look, matter of fact, and your father this Saturday at Arlington, so we'll be hanging out with them there.
Oh, Josh is going to be there too. Nice.
Oh yeah, Josh is.
Yeah, Josh and the Golds, they're all great people.
Good people
for sure. But yeah, so to answer your question, so for me, and honestly, I'm all over the place, and I, as a brand ambassador, I feel like I need to be up to date on the tobaccos we have, and we have enough for me to try and choose between. But the staples for me, which seem to change sometimes as well, but lately for me, the staples are Stokkebye Luxury Navy Flake, which I hope you guys have tried.
Yes.
Almost
Yes.
always Stokkebye Luxury Bullseye Flake. And then on the Lane side, I still really enjoy Lane RLP6. And then another Stokkebye to cover my English is Peter Stokkebye Proper English.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't know if you guys have smoked those. Now on the tin side, I'm a little more all over the place. I love Orlik Golden Slice.
I love that.
I talked about like my summer smokes. That's like a prime example. I've smoked too much Orlik Golden Sliced over the summer. So yeah, Orlik Golden Slice.
One of my
I really am enjoying the the Peterson Navy Flake.
Okay.
And yeah, those are probably the ones I'm smoking most recently.
Okay.
But like I said, I can go all over the place. Honestly, it sort of depends on the season. So now that it's getting colder outside, the Englishes start to come out. There's a little more burley in the tobacco I'm smoking. And then and typically, if I'm smoking something more aromatic, it's either a late night smoke or an early morning smoke.
Okay.
Unless I've had
Don't
like
drink the
some alcohol, then it's more English.
Well,
Okay.
speaking of alcohol, what's your favorite to pair with what you're smoking? Like, what are your usual go-tos?
So I'm a big beer guy, and I know it's like a very sort of plain beer, but Guinness to me,
Oh, yes.
whatever is on like the pH
Yes.
level scale that they get Guinness, to me is perfect for the acidity that you get in pipe tobacco.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Something in that Guinness just like absorbs that right out of my mouth. And then I also think it just it reflects the flavors very well because Guinness doesn't like have a whole lot going on, like an IPA or something where I feel like the hoppiness just overpowers anything else that's going on in my mouth, right? So typically, like a Guinness.
I love Guinness Stout.
Or me too. Or lately, a lot of Pilsners too. And that's more of a summer thing as well.
Yeah.
Once again, Virginia Perique with a good, crisp, light Pilsner on a hot summer day. That's, to me, is the sweet spot.
Awesome.
How about you guys? Now I got to ask.
Bourbon.
Right now,
Rye?
tonight we're having this. Just because we're having this.
I used to be a big beer guy, and that was just the problem. It made me bigger.
I take my breaks,
My stomach started expanding quite a bit, so I had to stop the beer.
There you
go. Now I just go for the harder stuff.
Yeah, we're actually blessed about where I'm at living here. I've probably got no less than maybe 12 or 15 craft breweries around me. So have a fridge right now full of a whole bunch of different craft beers. And actually, this past weekend, the one local brewery down here, Buffalo Creek, who's also a brother who owns it, he wanted to bring back a beer that he had when he was in college, and it was called Cherry Raspberry. And so he partnered with the brewery that was out on the East Coast to get the formula and made this Cherry Ras beer. And so I ended up picking up. I had probably a few at the brewery, and I picked up some growlers and brought them home, and I'm in love with that. But obviously tonight,
is it like a sour? Sorry to cut
No, it isn't. It's a dark amber. But it has just those slight notes of cherry and raspberry to it. I was impressed. I told him that was probably one of the better beers I've had in a long time.
So you're coming over tomorrow, right?
Awesome.
Buddy?
Hey guys, I hate to do this. Let me run and grab let me run and grab my charger real quick, guys. I keep losing y'all because I'm getting these low battery warnings. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
And while Max is just stepping away there, folks, hope you're enjoying the show. Lots going on here. Again, we're talking to Max Stokkebye of Stokkebye family, who's been around, geez, I want to say like 100 years, between grandpa,
generations.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of years, a lot of knowledge. We're going to be at Arlington Heights Pipe and Cigar Lounge this Saturday at 1 o'clock. So all you locals who want to stop by, come on down and meet Max's dad, Eric. And maybe, just maybe, depending on how our wizard behind the scenes, we might just do a live podcast there with Dan himself, that we had him live on the show. And there's always something going on at Arlington, folks. So check us out. Come on down for a social smoke. Come meet Eric. He'll sign a pipe or something for you if you buy it from him, for sure. And just come on down, have a good time. There's going to be a lot of Chicago Pipe Club members there and a lot of people. It's going to be an awesome day.
It's always a happening.
Yeah,
for sure.
I want to get back to something that Max said earlier about new, and that is you were talking about bulk blends. Now that's something that's kind of different from the old tins. So what will that be about? This
What
be new blends, or will you be offering bulk of the old ones?
It's going to be something new, yeah. So I can't disclose what it is.
Okay,
but it's something new. Yeah, we're not taking something and then throwing it in a bulk version. No, it's something new. So it'll start being teased next year. So.
Oh, cool.
All right.
Okay.
So when you're ready to release that information, would you like to join us again, and we could talk about what's new, and I'll promote that for you, and see
We would
how
like
that
to get a
goes.
press release and get dibs on exclusives.
Maybe just give me a little inside info. Will Dad have some of the new stuff?
We'll probably find his way in his pocket somehow.
Good. Okay. All right.
Do you help them at all? Do you have any part of the family right now whatsoever? Or is
No, I'm not working with the, so his brand, like we said earlier, is that fourth generation brand, and the brands that I work with at STG is Peter Stokkebye, so
Okay.
Which is the bulk pipe tobacco brand.
Fifth generation, we'll probably have to wait another 20 years.
That's Well, no, let's a little less. Hopefully, I like to think so.
Your boss is not watching. You can tell us.
but yeah, at come fifth generation, I'll be able to give you all the deets.
Okay.
That's nice.
And
Looking forward.
Yeah.
Looking
Do
forward.
you think about creating your own blends at some point? Since you've been around the business so long, and is that something that you're even?
Absolutely, yeah. We have some stuff in the works, but that probably won't see next year. So I don't want to tease anything else. Although I guess I just did inadvertently, huh?
Yeah, that's what we do.
Out.
But yeah, that's all in the works. So I'm excited for that too.
Very good. That's pretty cool. Excellent.
Mhm.
So I know it's hard to say here at 2021, but if it was a normal year and everything kind of goes back to normal, what kind of shows do you think you're lining yourself up with? Where because we plan on doing a Las Vegas show. We don't know if we're going to do the January, February, plus the July show. But you mentioned some of the other towns that you've been around. What's some of the shows that you do show up at?
Oh, the Raleigh show, you said.
So yeah, there's Raleigh, it's the TAP show, which is an abbreviation of Triangle Area Pipe Society. Then you have the NASPC, which is the North American, or maybe I think I got that, NAPC, North American Pipe Collecting Society,
yeah.
NAPCS.
Right.
I believe. I'm probably butchering it. Those guys are going to kill me. But that's in Ohio. Then you have St. Louis has a pipe show.
Right.
You have Las Vegas.
Don't skip
the pipe show.
Our show.
Say what?
Don't skip our show.
Oh no! We're saving the best for last now. Obviously, we have Chicago. We have the West Coast, like I just mentioned. There's the Texas Pipe Show, which actually in previous years was at Pop Safari Smoke Room, I believe is the full name of the retailer, which is in Dallas. But next year, that's actually, assuming that it's back on next year. This year, it actually was going to be hosted by us at our new Dallas Fort Worth store, an STG brick and mortar store there. So that obviously got taken off the table now, but I believe that we might be hosting that actually, which will be the first kind of show that is on our turf, I guess, there in Texas. So that would be a fun one.
That show.
I'm sorry?
I don't know anything about that show. It's not one of the ones that people talk about for some reason, I guess.
It's a little smaller. It's more some of the regional Texas pipe clubs that show up to it. A lot of the Dallas, Houston guys come to it. Occasionally some folks from Oklahoma. But it's a smaller show. Maybe maybe 250 people or so on a good year. That might be pushing it too. But so that's one of them. And then, I feel like I'm forgetting another one. There is one in Nashville actually as well that's now being put on by Briarworks. Are you guys familiar?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, and I was planning to be there for that this year. I missed it last year. Unfortunately, I had another engagement. But obviously, yeah, everything went by the wayside. But I'll plan to be there next year. And then, I think we mentioned St. Louis.
I think you're going to be at all of them. It would have been easy.
I guess yeah.
New York, New Jersey show.
You do New York too? Well,
I
New
do
York, which is in New Jersey.
So I was there with Kathleen Kelly from Cup of Joe's.
Okay.
The night before, and everything was hitting the fan, and New York was the hot zone at the time, and so we pulled the plug the day before that show. Actually, I called my boss and my manager and said, uncomfortable with this, and
well, they canceled it anyway.
Exactly. So, yeah, it's but yeah, do New York. That's the one. Thank you for reminding me. That was the one that was skipping me. Yeah, so I'll be back to doing that. Assuming I can go out and do all of them, I plan to do that. And typically, when I'm in a given area, I'm doing some of my brand ambassador events with the whatever retailers have sort of a pipe tobacco foothold in whatever the area is, right? So go in there and do some of these blending events, or sit and do the staff training sort of, which is another side of what I'm out there doing in the field. So but yeah, I'm hoping once they give us the green light, we'll be setting up and going back out. So but
well,
kind of waiting
we'll
on
be
that.
meeting you at one of the shows in person.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
for sure.
It sounds like we need to make a trip to the Nashville one. I mean, that's not too far for us to go. I mean, it's like 7.5 hour drive. We could get to Nashville.
The way you drive? All right, 6.
It's a fun city.
Yeah.
So, winding it down, how with the COVID, how has it been for production or supplies with the tobacco for you guys overall?
Overall, it's been good. We've actually seen pretty steady demand. And we've been able to, for the most part, meet that demand. Few ticks on some of the online stuff. There's some issues with actual having people in the facility with everything happening with social distancing rules in place and everything. It's but right now, yeah, everything is actually been healthy for us as a company. So yeah, as far as that goes, knock on wood, everything is fine now. So
as long as there's no shortage.
Yeah, exactly. No, we are not seeing that happening anytime in the near future.
We know with the cigar industry, a lot of factories had to shut down, unfortunately. Again,
Exactly.
the touching and everything. So, but one thing with the COVID, what we did notice with the pipe and the cigar industry, and probably alcohol, is that with everybody stuck at home, sales have increased. And basically, it's becoming a shortage because it's not coming through, and the ports haven't been opened as much. And so, the import has been a little bit of a problem, because I know cigars probably, for a person who has one, they're probably doing 3 or 4 a day.
Mm-hmm.
Folks about 10. But between his pipes and everything, from the time he wakes up to the time he's in bed, but with more people at home, there just seems to be an increase overall.
A lot more consumption,
tobacco.
yeah, no doubt. Alcohol and tobacco, yeah.
Right, and we certainly have had to produce more, in certain cases. So, but like I said, so far that has not. We haven't met any restraints as far as productions. So
Very good, wonderful.
yeah.
Well, listen, Max, it's been a pleasure. I know we're winding down for you, and we've been on for an hour or so.
Oh, that's
I
fine.
was going to say, if you'd like to stay on, because we're going to do our next segment of Stump the Chooch, if you'd like to hang around. And
Yeah, I got to see if I know these or not.
okay. Well,
But hey, guys,
Go ahead.
Thank you for having me on. Like I had a great time tonight. I love talking this industry, man. Everything about it. So I really appreciate the time, guys.
Thanks for
And
coming on.
Thank you.
for caring for giving a shit what this guy has to say, man. Thank you.
No, it's awesome. We'll tell Dan about, what a blabbermouth you are. You can't stop. We will be with him on Saturday. I know he'll be happy to hear that we did connect.
Finally.
So stay on
Definitely.
board.
You
And
guys will see him before I do, so tell him I said hey then too, right?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
we will.
get a hug and a kiss from you. I mean,
Yeah, here's what I want for Christmas. Are you writing this down?
yeah. Hold on, I got it. Go ahead.
Let me give you my Christmas list.
Ferrari, red.
Yeah.
Yeah. That model I saw on TV.
There you go. There you
I
go.
think the girlfriend heard that. I'm in trouble.
Oh, you said that purposely. No, hi, he's got you.
I like to stir the pot a little bit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
We all do. We
Keep
all.
it fun here in quarantine.
nothing like variety.
Before we go to Cousin Frank, guys, one more time, Kyle, can you take care of our sponsors? Because we do have a couple of them online that would like to hear the new sponsor ad.
Sure. Here we go.
Hello, Val. Hello, Randy. Hello, Armin.
Hey guys.
Our sponsors
Hello, Alan.
are
There you go.
DAV Cigars out of New York. Decades of experience combined with true love and deep understanding of cigars result in the highest level of standard of each DAV hand-rolled cigar. Next sponsor is RNA Treasures out of Tampa Bay, Florida, the last of a legacy. The last inventory from Thomas Cristiano in a warehouse where everything is aged and well kept for all your pipe and smoking needs. And finally, the Chicago Pipe Collectors Club, one of the largest and oldest pipe groups in North America, with the largest pipe show worldwide. Every first weekend in May. Always looking for new members, and if you're interested, please contact via Facebook. And now, back to you, Ron.
Well, thank you, Kyle. Again, I love the ventriloquist. I was really studying your
It
lips.
is amazing.
He didn't do it, man. I mean, he's the best of the best. Jerry Mahoney can't do it even that better.
No. I'll tell you.
Anyway, well, welcome back, folks. Appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the sponsorship, and Val and Al and Armin. Hope you enjoyed that with Randy. But now it's the segment that we all look forward to. At the end, have some laughs, make us look like jackasses. It's Cousin Frank and Stump the Chooch.
Oh, it's time. On this day in history. That's me. I'm all about history. You know,
are old.
Bob is history. So,
True.
you know,
The vacuum.
I live it.
he's living history. He really is. It's easy for me to love history. Bob is kind of like part of the dinosaur era.
Yes, yes. Jurassic. Yeah.
Jurassic. Exactly. So this is always, this
We have a
week
friend back here.
has been very, very special.
Hey, fool.
Oh.
Uh-oh, the cat is making history too on the show.
That's been happening.
First appearance.
It's the first appearance. He was shy.
Wow.
Go ahead. On history. Go ahead.
All right, back in 1908, guys, this was the first automotive that was built, and it was completed in 1908. What was the company and what was the car?
Ford Model T.
Hey, there we go, Kyle.
Kyle, there you go.
Kyle with the
I was
little
sitting
boy.
over here raising my hand.
Oh, we didn't see you.
Raise your hand, shout it quickly. That's the only way to do things is to do it quickly.
You should have said American.
I'm
American
learning.
made.
Yeah,
American
All
made,
right.
because there was a lot of European
German.
companies.
Yeah.
All right. Slow down.
I could just say any Danish word.
Formal protest. Formal protest.
By the way, Alan Boyd, the ex-president of the Chicago Pipe Club, said Bob's middle name is Dirt.
Oh,
Created at the same time as the Earth.
thank you, Alan.
Nice one.
Oh yeah.
We'll
Geez,
see
Bob,
him
where'd you get all these fans?
when you were around that long.
Yeah.
Even Bozo the Clown is his fan.
He's outlived most of his fans.
That's it.
All right, I've got a good one for you. I don't know, maybe Bob might pick up on this one. Back in 1962, this became a hit television series, and one of the actors' name on the show was Jed.
Beverly
Beverly
Hillbillies.
Hillbillies.
There we go. I gave you a little bit too much information. So
Yeah, when you said Jed, they gave it away.
Well,
I
but
know. I'm giving you a
62,
lot.
how many shows were on in 62?
There were a lot of shows on three. There were 3 shows on in 62.
Oh, there was 3 channels.
Exactly.
But there was 20 shows.
So
I
this
feel
week,
like LMA. Oh.
well, this week in history again in TV, 1961, the year prior, this epic television series airs its final episode.
Jack Benny.
1961. If I give you a hint, it's going to give it away.
Honeymooners.
No.
No, this was 1961. 1961.
Aired its last show.
Dallas, who shot JR?
Yeah.
Andy Griffith Show?
No.
No.
Burns and Alice.
Alfred
No,
Hitchcock.
I'll give you
Alice. Gracie.
a hint.
Gracie.
I'll give you a hint. I'm married to her name.
I Love Lucy.
There we go.
Oh,
Hey!
That was the last year, huh? 61.
I thought they were later.
61.
Actually, I thought it was later too. Wow.
1961. Well, you know how many times on reruns I saw that?
It's still going.
Oh, I know.
That never ends.
It's a
No,
good
classic.
One more, and then we go to the folks. So, folks, get yourself ready. We hope we've given an idea of how to win this pipe from RNA Treasures.
Or
It's
how
an
to lose.
And rustic look, nice solid bowl. You can see the
Nice
thickness
big
on there.
bow on that, yeah.
All right.
Nice
And
pipe. Nice billiard. Very light too. Very nice pipe.
All right. This
Good.
one's
And I have a question. Hold on, Frank.
go ahead.
There's a question from Alan.
Go ahead.
And Alan has said, since he started with cars, where is the USA was what?
Where
Where-
in the
Where
USA?
in the USA was the first organized auto race and hosted by which automobile manufacturer?
Long Island.
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis.
Long Island. Long Island had the first race.
All right, Alan, you're listening. We need the answer.
But which automobile manufacturer? Which
Oh, manufacturer.
manufacturer?
Oh,
That's going to go with Chevrolet.
No.
No?
No.
Oldsmobile.
No.
I'll
no,
go.
probably not Ford.
I'll go Ford.
It's
No. I can't remember which one it was. Wow.
Come on, Bob.
Buick.
Alan, we need an answer. Hurry up because Frank's got the last question for the audience.
I do. I have the last question for you guys.
The
and then we
Gremlin.
go.
Oh, we got one more for us?
I got one more for you.
All right. Make it. We have a little time, Alan, because I know you're listening.
Yeah.
All right. One more question for the Chooches.
Yeah, one more question for the Choochers. 1969. This
Love that
infamous
Good year.
1969. This infamous trial took place in Chicago. It was known for its mistaken identity, sort of. It was called the Chicago.
Mistaken identity.
Ooh.
Yeah, kind of. It started off as a different number. Put it to you that way. I'm already giving you too much information.
7. The 7.
Chicago 7. It actually was the 8. Chicago 8, but then they trimmed it
Why would
back.
you ask a Chicago question to us?
I always ask,
I knew what it was.
and you know, I always throw in a Chicago question. I find one, I throw it in.
Alan goes Chicago by Mercedes, 1902.
Oh,
Oh, I don't know about that one now.
Well, no.
I know there was one that took place on Long Island. And that was before they even built the highway.
Yeah,
And
you're
that was 1901.
Yeah, 1901.
Hey, Bob.
There you go.
Bob,
Yeah,
your
Now come on, Paul.
Bob, your soapbox derbies don't count.
I was there for that race. I remember.
Hey, you know, I'm only 7 years younger. Don't put me that old. All right. All right, Alan. Chicago 1902
Okay.
Mercedes. Bob is going to double check because he swears it was New York, Long Island.
I
area.
remember.
We'll talk
See
about
that.
it on Saturday when we see you.
Yeah.
All right. Go for it, Frank.
Go
This is
on.
the biggie.
This is for the audience.
Well,
Hey, this is-
wait.
This
Oh,
week in
before I forget, because I'm looking at it. Folks, we are taking donations for our military, red, white, and blue,
Yes.
overseas. We're taking donations of pipes, cigars, anything that has to do with the industry for our military men and women that are serving overseas. This package will go out. There's a bunch of these, by the way. I'm just using an example. Pipes, cigars, matches, pipe cleaners. This will go out in mid-October to the president of Briar Nation, Jeremy Feliciano, which he will distribute to all the rest of the men and women that are fighting for our causes. And the last 5 winners have donated their pipes to them. So we are building up a really nice collection. If you have anything, please
Worthy cause.
Facebook us, PM us. I'll give us the address to the house here that we can send it to them with a little note if you want to put them, and then we can send it to the boys and girls over there who are protecting us.
They can't get anything over there, guys.
Mhm.
So,
No,
you
they
know,
won't allow
Yep.
it.
But they will get our care package.
All right, Frank, go for it. And Alan, thank you for everything. You have a good night. We'll see you Saturday.
Go
All
ahead,
right.
Frank. Take it away.
Take it away. I'm taking it away. You see, I've got my chooches over my shoulder.
Later.
They're waiting. They're waiting. But I can see everybody on their computers ready to hit the answer.
Yeah.
They're
Because
just waiting to hit that key.
they're waiting for it. They're waiting for it. But this is a 2-parter. I need both parts of the answer correct.
The second part first.
Oh, 2-part
Second part
answer.
first.
Oh,
This week in history, 1973, it was billed as the Battle of the Sexes.
Billy G.
come on! Hey! Hey!
Every week,
Bob.
What is-
Bob.
What the heck?
Hold up, Bob.
What is going on here? What is
Every
going
week.
on here? Oh my
every
lord!
week.
These guys. Somebody needs to mute them. You know what? Next time, they're getting muted.
I am so sorry.
They're getting
I got
muted.
so excited. I had the
Oh,
answer.
jeez.
Bob, you suck.
Ah.
Every week I go through this,
I know.
and every week I have to have a backup.
High anxiety
I've got-
over here.
Look,
At least he's consistent.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well, turn it off. It's off.
that's the reason why I have these jackasses behind me.
And the
This is the reason.
chooches never fail you.
The pieces are always there. They're a reminder.
Oh Lord. Okay. Well,
All right.
how we do it, Max. This is how we do it.
let's do the second question, but then we will mute them before they can have a chance to
Yes.
answer.
Yes. Yeah. I guess.
Sorry, Frank. God.
Okay, back up.
All right. Get ready.
Oh, I'm
Get
ready
set.
to. I'm muting them.
Mute.
They're muted.
Mute. I'm going to first say mute.
Yep, they're
And
muted.
then I'm going to get the question. So that'll be your cue, Kyle.
Yeah.
It'll be mute.
Yeah.
Then we'll know it's for the pipe,
Yeah.
and then we won't hear those two clowns.
No.
Again,
Yeah.
they can just show the pipe.
Yeah, that's good, Ron. Just show the pipe. That's all you need to
Right.
do.
Perfect. Okay, this was back in 1995. This manifesto, 35,000 words, was actually printed in the New York Times.
Oh,
Whose manifesto?
nice. That's a good one.
Thank God I don't have to listen to those two names. At least we get some peace and quiet.
I know. They're not jumping at the cause at that one.
Hey, Kyle, let's take over the show.
Yeah. It's now the Frank and Kyle show. Thanks.
There we go.
All right. We are set.
I guess you can bring them back.
Ronnie, you may need to come back there. I don't know what they did.
Ronnie lost his now he's truly gone.
Yeah.
You shut him out. So
Yeah. Unmute yourself, Ronnie.
Now he can't get back on. That's what happened. See, don't mess with success.
Let's see here. Alan Boyd has the Unabomber.
It looks like Alan Boyd is the first one.
There
to
we
answer
go.
correctly. The Unabomber.
The Unabomber.
Wow.
Alan, we'll see you Saturday. You really want this pipe, or should I donate it? Very good, Frank. Very good.
Hey, you're back now, Ron. Oh, you fixed yourself.
Well, thank you. I missed you too. The crap that I was saying about you, boy, oh boy, you'll never know, will you?
Yeah, I love you too. I love you too.
Well, Max, I hope you enjoyed the show.
Absolutely, guys.
I hope we can have you back again for some more nonsense on our end and
I'd love to.
some more update. And we want to congratulate you on your promotion. That was awesome.
And hopefully we'll see you at one of the shows whenever they will let us have shows again.
And
I'll
Alan's.
see you guys.
Yeah.
Look, thanks again for having me on. All right, let's keep
you,
in
buddy.
touch and do this again sometime in the near future.
Thank you. Thank you, Max.
You have a good night.
Gentlemen,
Have a great night.
Take care.
Good night.
All right.
And
Alan,
Alan.
Max Stokkebye, folks.
And Alan says donate. Donate the pipe.
Donate the pipe. Thanks, Alan. We will. And well, folks, that was a great show. Max Stokkebye. I guess you can say he is the fifth generation.
They're like
of
a
the family.
dynasty in the industry. They really are. They've been around for so long.
Yeah.
And it's been great. So
And still going strong, which is great.
Absolutely. Once again, folks, if you're in the Chicagoland area, next Saturday, there will be a Eric Stokkebye, Max's dad, will be
Not
from
next
1
Saturday.
to-
This Saturday.
This Saturday.
This
This
Saturday.
coming Saturday.
Okay, this coming Saturday, if you want to say it that way.
You can say it any way you want, but it's
But
this
this
coming
Saturday.
Saturday.
On September 26th,
Yeah.
Eric
Okay.
Stokkebye will be at Arlington Pipe and Cigar Lounge.
So you got to get this show up before the 26th, so people will catch up with it.
Yeah, that
We'll be
won't
there
happen.
with Eric and the rest of the Chicago Pipe Club members. And if you're a newbie, you never smoked a pipe in your life, you want to know anything about it, I tell you what, we will have a free pipe for you, tobacco for you to try, and you're going to enjoy it. You're going to enjoy it. We have a lot of
Absolutely.
beautiful people. And if you need to understand pipe smoking and learn about what it is, it's a passion for everybody. We will teach you. We're more than glad to answer any of your questions. So come on down, join us, and we'll keep you updated with the latest news and information of what's going on. One last thing, trying to change it from the pipes a little bit, but our good friends from Ace Prime, just to let you all know, they won the best cigar of 2020 in Nicaragua edition.
Really?
Yes,
Nice.
I heard that.
That is
Congrats.
fabulous. Congrats,
Good
Ace
news,
Prime.
guys.
Yeah.
Keep up the good work.
And
Cigars are wonderful.
and Frank, I know earlier you got your package and we got our package from our guest from 2 weeks ago, Jeff Amendola. We had the cannoli.
Cannoli.
The cannoli. And
You said
Kyle,
it
I
was,
have two for you. And next time I see you,
you said it was
hopefully on
fabulous,
Saturday.
huh?
You're gonna love the cannoli. Let me tell you. Forget about you
I'm
know,
partial to Napoleons, but I do like the cannolis.
the cannoli. This filling.
I'm still trying to
will-
find a girl who will take my cannoli. Oh,
Oh,
Whoa,
whoa.
whoa, I don't gotta edit that.
Wow, wait.
Oh, it's-
Leave the gun, take the cannoli.
Hey, if you got a super side, forget about it. Yeah, you'll be okay.
yeah, you guys are gonna love it. Good-
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure we will.
Absolutely.
It's not for the faint at heart. I'll put it
Yeah,
to
you
you.
know,
said
it's a
that.
good
So
one.
we'll have to have dinner before we smoke it, huh?
Have a little bit something to eat, and then be prepared for a great ride.
Oh,
Yeah, you
awesome.
had to stop halfway through and have a bagel
I
to settle the nicotine.
Well, why don't we
Yeah.
talk after the show? You guys stay on.
Yep.
For the rest of you, from all of us to all of you, thank you for joining us. Thank you for waiting out the week. We look forward to talking to you next week here
Absolutely.
at the Great Lakes Smoke Show.
See you
So
next
everyone,
week, everybody.
Have a great
Good night.
Good one.
Talk to you real soon.
Good night.
Have a great smoking week.